Civil Engineering and Trades. Thank you all for joining us, and it's a great opportunity for you as prospective students to join and gain an insight into the amazing offerings within this department itself. I'm delighted to be today to be joined by Alan Duffy, who is a quantity surveying lecturer, and a student, Faye, who is going to tell us a very interesting story about her work placement and where she is based currently. She's actually joining us all the way from London, so she's going to give us a little bit of an insight into how she secured this placement, but also Alan is going to talk to us about modules and really the amazing opportunities that this course can open up to you as a prospective student. So just to reiterate, over the next couple of weeks we are running lots of live panel discussions like this one. You also have opportunities to join live web Q&As and also have amazing opportunities to book an appointment with our student recruitment team through virtual guidance. So to kick off today's live panel discussion, I just want to welcome both Alan and Faye, and thanks a million for joining me today. No problem. So Alan, I think firstly it's important to maybe just give a general overview of the courses available within the department itself, and then we'll mostly focus on quantity surveying. Is that okay with you? Perfect.
Yeah, okay. Well, I suppose in our Department of Civil Engineering and Trades on the CAO we have two key programs, two key streams, I suppose. Civil engineering as an entry, which the outcome of which would be a level 8 in civil engineering. Now there's two entry points into that. You can come into the ab initio civil engineering route, which is a straight 4-year route to honours degree, or you can come into the level 6 or 7 civil engineering entry point, which would ultimately be a 5-year route. Honours maths been the issue there. So if you have honours maths, you go the 4-year route. If you don't have honours maths in the leaving, you go the 5-year route. As you said in your intro, my particular area is the other side of the department, which is quantity surveying, and that's more straightforward in many ways. It's just a straight 4-year ab initio honours degree in quantity surveying, which we launched in 2016, and we're currently on our 5th intake of first years in this current academic year. So we're very excited about that programme. Just as a side note, we're putting it forward for accreditation by the professional body at the moment, which is the Society of Chartered Surveyors, under the umbrella of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, which is the global body. And this would be a significant enhancement in terms of the programme and its wider appeal nationally. So yeah, we're very excited. As I said, that's my obvious area of interest, being a QS.
Excellent, Alan. So I think it's important, whilst we are obviously focusing on QS today, is to talk about the modules and what type of skills will a student develop undertaking this 4-year ab initio programme.
Absolutely, Claire. Well, the programme itself is a 4-year degree, as you said, divided up on a semesterised basis. So over those 4 years, students will take a number of modules, and we tend to look at the modules in learning streams. So one of the key streams or themes that the modules follow would be the whole area of measurement and construction costings. So a quantity surveyor is a manager of the costs in relation to construction management, the money side of construction. So we have modules that focus on that. So we look at things like the ability to measure the quantity of work. It's in the title, quantity surveyor. We look at understanding the construction fabric of the building. So there are a number of modules, subjects in that stream. We also focus on areas like the management of the project. Construction is about getting the building built on time and on programme. So we have modules in project management. We have a lot of modules in the whole area of software. Construction now is very much a software-based industry when it comes to management. So we focus on that idea of the software that's used to design and manage construction projects. And then we have other modules around areas like law. Construction is a legal business in many ways. We have support modules in areas like land surveying, like mathematics, and just general business management. So it's a broad suite of modules, but generally refined into those learning streams I spoke about.
Excellent. So I think it's important, Alan, whilst we're obviously talking about modules, to maybe loop Faye in for a second, and we can come back to work placement after we just have a quick chat with Faye. So Faye, welcome to today's live panel discussion. Thank you for joining me all the way from London. An amazing opportunity that you are currently undertaking your placement over there, and we'll talk about that in a second, as I said. But do you want to tell me a little bit about your favourite module, or maybe which is a key module that helped you kind of secure your placement and that you found has really benefited you as you have undertaken your placement over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, something anyway for sure is the nice practical modules that we do, like AutoCAD and Revit and using Costex and all that. It's not, see, the course is based isn't all like theory, so it's nice to have some of those practical subjects and they've really benefited me on my placement. It's something that we use every single day for measuring up what we're doing and even looking at plans and drawings and stuff. So they've all come in very, very handy, and they're all really interesting. So it's not like it's all boring modules or anything like that. And it's good that I got to do that in college, and it wasn't all new then when I came out.
Brilliant. And is there maybe a module that is your favourite, Faye, or is there one that you found that was definitely the pinnacle so far of your studies?
Probably BIM was very handy to have. Like it helps with like the drawings and understanding what's on the drawings and that kind of thing. So
okay, definitely. So that one helped you in your placement, and it's something that you've really found is relevant from your studies that you've brought to the workplace.
Because it's like it's something that we use every day. So to have it from college, it was very handy. So I wasn't learning it when I came out, as well as having to take on all the rest of the stuff. So it was very handy to have a good knowledge of that.
Excellent. And I think, Alan, it's important to obviously pinpoint now the work placement, an amazing opportunity that's embedded in this four-year Ab Initio programme that is really beneficial to students who might be looking at this course. And do you want to talk about obviously the benefits of work placement itself, but what kind of months and kind of weeks it entails?
Okay, perfect. A great point to jump in with, and it's great to hear from Faye. We haven't seen Faye. We're here sitting here in Athlone in the middle of April. I haven't seen Faye outside, notwithstanding COVID. She wouldn't have been here since December. So Faye is out on placement. So our placement takes place in the second semester of third year. So students who come to the college will do 2 years with us in a standard fashion. Then when they get into third year, we have a first semester in college here in Athlone, and then they will move away and do their placement. Now, as you've just mentioned, Faye is over in London. We're very excited and delighted that she got that opportunity. We encourage students to, spread their wings and try and get out, and we try to facilitate placements in as broad a set of environments as possible. So the placement runs from the January through that first semester with flexibility to work right up until the August. So most of our students would take that opportunity up and work on until the August. So getting up to about 8 months of placement, hugely beneficial for the programme. We have specific requirements. We like to see competencies met during the placement so that we have in many ways a list we want ticked, and Faye just sounds like she's really getting a great run of it there. We want to see them getting opportunities in BIM and getting to see, as she gave phrases there like what she does every day. We want to see students getting that, but beyond that, even when she gets to the end of her 4 years, the huge advantage of having a CV, then it doesn't just have a degree in it, it has really solid work experience, and not being in any way downplaying the experience students get if they work in shops or bars or wherever it might be. Having a work experience that is actually quantity surveying, the advantage that gives Faye and all of the students in her scenario when they graduate from Athlone is hugely beneficial. Most of our students would go and work in the type of scenario Faye is in, working with contractors or consultancies that are managing real life projects. Gives them a chance to see in practice what we've been trying to explain to them for 2.5 years in advance of that. So it's a hugely beneficial part of the programme.
Brilliant. And Faye, do you want to talk to me a little bit about your placement in London? Obviously, as Alan said, they always encourage students to obviously go abroad and complete work placement. You yourself kind of took the bull by the horns this year. Specifically, it was probably a little bit difficult with obviously COVID and everything. So do you want to talk to me a little bit about how you secured this placement firstly, but how you've adjusted to obviously living in London, obviously in the current pandemic?
Yeah, so my sister actually works in the construction industry over here, so that's how I was drawn over here. And things on the construction industry over here, they seem to be working as normal, like obviously social distancing and all the precautions and stuff in place. But having this placement here was like amazing. Couldn't have really asked for better. We're actually working on the high-speed train, which is estimated to cost 98 billion. And seeing that project come to life and be able to go from site to site is actually like so surreal. And the placement that like I just couldn't have got better, and it like seeing and talking about all these things in college, but actually seeing them in real life is just, it's such a brilliant experience.
Brilliant. And obviously, Faye, when you're looking at when you're talking about, no, you're okay, when you're talking about obviously money, like you just mentioned there, I know that my face said 1,000 words there when you mentioned 98 billion, but that's kind of the projects that you yourself will be immersed in, not only through work placement, but throughout your career. So it's great to know that you're confident to know that the skills you've gained in AIT over the last 2.5 years, that you're confident to put these skills into work on such a massive project like this one?
Yeah, it's brilliant to be involved with such a great project, and it's outstanding really, the work that's going on. And like when you say 98 billion, like you might just say that and see the figures for it, but actually seeing a 98 billion project come to life is just, it's very
insane. Yes, it's insane. I definitely got a bit of a shocker moment there, and I think it was very noticeable. So Alan, I think it's important when we're talking to Faye about this amazing opportunity that she's had and obviously experiencing this. You're obviously talking then about two prospective students after the 4 years. The career opportunities are so important. So do you want to touch base with obviously the amazing career opportunities that are available to graduates of this programme?
Absolutely. It's great to hear. Don't be in any way put back that your face took a bit of a detour when she mentioned 98 billion. And we have those sorts of projects around Europe and around the world. And even here in Ireland, we have students at the moment. Two of our graduates are working on the Children's Hospital, which has a lot of bad press, but it's a multi-billion euro project. We had a student a number of years ago here on the first cohort who worked on the Central Parks project here locally in County Longford. So, we're getting our toe into the water on a huge number of projects. But just to go back on the career opportunities, we have a cohort of students who graduated last May, June. They're out in the work placement. Most of them now are really, getting to see the benefit of the degree, and they're on pretty decent salaries. I don't want to disclose too many figures. I'm getting phone calls back from them. They're talking about moving, and they're getting, through lateral moves, getting significant jumps in salary. The construction industry is doing quite well at the moment. We have a healthy construction industry here in Ireland. A lot of it is driven by the big foreign direct investment companies that work here. If you consider even what we would consider local to us would be the Intel site, where there's a projection of them spending in the region of 8 billion euros over a 5 to 8 year cycle. So, really an enormous demand for construction management around the money end of it. So construction and the quantity surveying that's needed for construction is a great opportunity for students. The salaries typically are in the higher end. So we see a great opportunity for young people like Faye. As I said, Faye has 2.5, she'll come back, everything going well in September, complete out her degree, coupled with her placement. She's an enormous career ahead of her and great flexibility. And obviously we're very excited about that for her and all of her colleagues as well.
Definitely. So Faye and Alan, I think to finish up, I'm going to ask you to give some advice. So Faye, I'm going to come to you first and maybe ask you some advice for 16 or 17-year-olds that might be watching this today, girls or boys that are interested in pursuing quantity surveying in general. Is there any advice that you would give to them? Does it come to research? Does it come to following your gut? What advice would you give them, Faye?
Well, definitely if I was a female, and because I know when I was starting out, I was very nervous about becoming a female in the construction industry and how people would react. And honestly, it's nothing at all to be afraid of. People don't even look twice if a female walks onto a construction site. It's becoming the norm now, so that's not something that people should be afraid of. And also, if you were afraid of the theory side and it's all going to be boring and every day is a different day and every day there's something different going on. Some days you'll be on site, some days you'll be in meetings, other days you'll be in the office then. So, and even if you're afraid that you won't have enough of a construction background, everything is done from basics and there's a great support system in AIT. So all of that is nothing to be scared of at all, and I just go for it.
Excellent, Faye. That was actually a lovely piece of advice, and great to mention that you obviously been a girl walking onto a construction site, that you don't get the looks, that kind of people, that taboo that people think of, and it's great for you to put that sense of security maybe in a girl who is thinking of pursuing that career and has that little bit of nerves thinking of obviously that daunting walk onto a construction site. And obviously, Alan, coming to you, have you any advice for students and obviously parents and guardians as well who are looking at this career sector? Obviously you haven't worked in it for years as well, you can kind of give your own insight as well.
Absolutely. I don't want to really say much more than what Faye has said, because it's great to hear it coming from herself. She's at the beginning of a career. I have 25 years post-graduation experience. I would just say it's a career that gives you great variety. Construction projects are all different. You'll never do the same project again. There's no end of opportunity. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, it's a boring quantity surveying theory-based role. As Faye just outlined, there's plenty of variety in it. The future of construction is based around software, around excitement around innovation in construction methods, and having knowledge in that area is a huge advantage. Just be aware of that variety it brings and the wealth of opportunities. Being a project-based industry, you're never doing the same thing from one day to the next, never mind 1 month to the next. So it's a great opportunity. I'd really encourage 16-year-olds to think long and hard about it, and hopefully take the chance on it, as I did almost 30 years ago now. It's definitely worth doing.
Brilliant. I think that was an excellent insight into quantity surveying, and if there is any students who are interested in studying quantity surveying and would love to get a little bit more information, you can do that by obviously dropping us a simple DM on our Instagram or Facebook, or even sending us an email to askus@ait.ie. We're happy to put you in touch with academic staff like Alan, who can give you a really good insight into obviously the course structure, the modules, and even if you want to talk to students like Faye and get a little bit of an insight into her life, I'm sure she is happy to assist too. So thank you both for joining me on this live panel discussion today. It was excellent to have you both on.
Thank you, Claire.